Hello everyone. So we are going to be taking a look at some calculus question, and the first question given to us here is a function. So let's consider this function f of x equals to e to the power 2x plus 1. Now, which of the following statement is true? The first statement, A, is the domain of f of x is from 0 to positive infinity. So if we look at this range, we have been given a range for A, for option A. Our range is from 0 inclusive to positive infinity exclusive. So for any exponential function, we need to know this. The domain of our function is usually the set of R, meaning that if we have a function, let's say f of x to be equals to e to the power g of x, then our domain is usually from minus infinity to plus infinity, generally for any exponential function. And if you want to verify, let's say -1, if we insert -1 in our original function here, f of x is e to the power 2x plus 1. If we take -1 and insert in our function, we are going to have f of -1 will be e to the power -2 plus 1, which is e to the power -1, which is 1 on e, and this exists. This belongs to the set of R. Therefore, this option A excludes a region, so the option A is wrong. Option A is wrong. Option B says the domain of our function f is R, which is correct from what I just explained. And option C says the domain of f is a set of all x with x greater than 0. This is wrong. Option D, the inverse function of f inverse of y is a halving of y minus a half. So we don't know, we have to verify. Now, to verify the inverse function, you need to substitute your x and y. So what do I mean by that? For option D, we have our function f of x to be equal to e to the power 2x plus 1. Now, to look for the inverse of x, we are going to say let f of x be equal to y, and if f of x is equal to y, and we say let y be equal to x, so meaning that anywhere we see our x will replace with y, and anywhere we see our y will replace with x. So our function now, this our function will become x, which is our y, from this will become equal to e to the power 2y plus 1. So what we need to do here is simply to look to make y subject of formula. Now, since this is an exponential function, we are going to take a natural logarithm on both sides. So this will be 2y plus 1. For those who do not know what I did there is a theorem which states that the ln of e, right, is the ln of e is let's say, let me use a different example. Let's say e to the ln of x is actually x. So meaning that if you have, let's say, a function, the same thing works with logarithm. For log, it's usually base 10. So 10 raised to the power the log of x is usually x. So you have to know this. So it's the same thing here. If I take natural log on both sides, I'm going to have the ln of e to the power 2y plus 1. Since the bases are the same, our result will simply be our natural log function. So we have this, right? Then we need to make y subject, which is our point of interest. So to make y subject, we are simply going to send 1 the other way and divide all through by y. So we can rewrite this function as 2y plus 1 equals to the ln of x, just for clarity. So 2y will be the ln of x minus 1. Now, dividing all through by 2, we are going to have a half the ln of x minus a half. Now remember, we said initially that our f of x is y and y is x, so we are simply going to replace that. So meaning that our f inverse of x will simply be equal to a half the ln of y minus a half. Now this is our solution. We are now going to compare this with the function given to us. Comparing, we see that it's a half ln of y minus a half, which is correct. So this option is the correct option. This option is the correct option. Yep. So B is correct. E says that the inverse function does not exist since f is not invertible. Wrong. We've just calculated and f is invertible. We can look for the inverse of x, and for f they say the inverse function is f inverse of y equal to e to the negative 2y minus 1. This is equally wrong. This is equally wrong. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and A is equally wrong. So that's the solution to the question. We're going to be looking at more questions. So if you want to get solutions to questions similar to this, make sure to support my channel by subscribing and sharing the video. It takes an incredible amount of time for me to create this video since I'm still a student. So in order to support my initiative or my effort, kindly subscribe and like and share the video. Thank you, and see you in the next video.